The Thunder were able to beat the Lakers going away in Game 1, and one of the most important keys to the series is how LA coach JJ Redick designs his defense to stop Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A big part of the game plan was to send an extra defender at him early in the perimeter and force him to give it up. The problem is that it leaves DeAndre Ayton having to deal with a lot of quickness as Cason Wallace gets by him, but the fumbled kickout allows the defense to reset. They show another double at SGA, who quickly hits the roll, and it gets Chet a wide open shot he just can't hit. The way you know the Lakers will be in early double mode is when they put their big man on a guard to start. So we can see Jackson Hayes is guarding Alex Caruso here, and Smart and Kennard will show to the ball to force him to pass it. This led to a suboptimal rotation where Jake LaRavia had to guard 2 passes in a row. Amazingly, he blocks the shot because the pass to the open man was a weak bounce pass. However, in the mad scramble for the loose ball, SGA finds himself alone, driving into the lane, and then making the easy pass so Jalen Williams can redeem himself with the swish for 3. Hayes again is guarding Caruso, and Smart shows a switch, but then tries to chase into a double. However, OKC had cleared out that entire side to give Shai lots of room to work his mid-range magic. Watch how Marcus Smart has positioned himself. The only explanation for being this far to the side of Shai is because he's expecting a second defender to double from somewhere. That somewhere is actually a someone, Jackson Hayes, as we see JJ screaming at him to go double. It doesn't help that Luke Kennard is completely lost and isn't guarding anybody for several seconds. As a result, the defense gets completely compromised and Hayes is forced to foul in order to contest, but SGA hits the shot anyway. This was the first time they tried doubling him way early while he was still in the backcourt, and Oklahoma City was more than willing to play 4-on-4 with a spread court, which meant LeBron could get isolated on when he has to deal with a potential backdoor cut, then a spot up back to the strong side wing, then a little jab step swing through to the middle and the floater, as he just isn't quick enough to keep up. What was frustrating to watch was how often the defense would screw up their game plan. You cannot guard SGA to the side like this one-on-one, and Smart is glancing over his shoulder, desperate for LeBron to double. While they end up getting away with it in the end, you can already see how many openings the initial attack is creating, and it would only be a matter of time until they went on a run with the quality of shot they were consistently getting in this half. I think Marcus Smart became fatigued at this point. He had a lot on his plate for sure, as he calls for Hayes to come double the ball with him, but in his fatigue, Smart doesn't actually go to the ball, leaving Hayes by himself and fouling SGA with no call. But on the reset, SGA promptly goes right by him on an island and into his absolutely elite mid-range game for the bucket. Here's another example where it looks like Smart is expecting Rui to step up and double, but that would be a real problem, leaving Chet a free run to the hoop with only Austin Reeves back there to stop him. They're able to funnel him into the ball screen and double because Hayes is guarding Dort. Isaiah Joe makes a mistake I'm sure they'll correct. As SGA drives towards the basket on the right side, he must move towards the left wing for the skip pass, not further behind SGA where the angle is almost impossible. The harassment was able to force some turnovers like this one, where it felt safe to dump it off as a pick and pop, but LeBron comes from 20 feet away to steal this one and turn it into a pick 6 and keep them close near the half. Later in the game, we see another miscue that OKC needs to clean up. The alley to throw this pass is as a short roll, not a pop like Jalen Williams does here, and it turns into a turnover and a foul on him. Here's a possession that demonstrates the proper angle to attack the double team in the backcourt. OKC has too many off-the-dribble weapons. Practically everyone can do something on a drive, and the danger with doubling so early is that Rui isn't sure where he's supposed to go once the ball is passed out. Guess where he should have gone? Yep. And now Isaiah Joe is pump faking and gliding expertly to the hoop for an easy layup because Hayes continues to defend a guard and can't protect the rim. LeBron can't be the guy to come up and double early. He's just not mobile enough for someone like SGA, and they get very lucky that SGA blows the open layup. However, the drive compacted the defense so much that it directly leads to the tip out and a wide open triple from Caruso to start giving them some separation. And here's another example of LeBron struggling when in the main action regarding Shai. He has to switch onto him off the split screen and is instantly beat back door, but they again luck out when SGA fumbles the catch. Great rotation by Rui, and check this serious box out by LeBron on Chet. This happened several times where Smart was expecting a double and forces him to the right, and Rui jumps out to the absolute wrong side. There is simply no way to prevent a great shot if you give SGA this kind of runway, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to clean this up by Game 2. One way to combat the doubling out top is just to attack immediately on the catch. And at this point, Smart looks like a man with zero energy, as he's left in the dust and LaRavia is not a rim protector in the slightest. And to close the third, Smart takes an ill-advised off-the-dribble 3 over Caruso's contest, and it allows SGA to take off and attack. He runs smack dab into a double team, but watch what Smart does. In an effort to appear like he's quarterbacking the defense, he's actually not rotating quickly enough to the strong side. Once the ball is passed towards the right wing, he can't be pointing to the weak side corner. That's 45 feet away from the ball. He's got to be on his way to the strong side corner in a hurry. Instead, he wanders over there just in time to foolishly hit the shooter who also hits the 3, and the rout was just about to start. Even though SGA had pretty pedestrian numbers for him, so many possessions that resulted in his score were based solely off of the gravity the defense was giving him. Like we said before, not only does almost everyone on this team have the ability to create off the dribble, they also have shooters all over the place. And when you combine that with the Marcus Smart experience, where he makes subtle mistakes all over the floor, along with poor shot selection, and he isn't an elite shot maker anyway, JJ has to hope they can avoid a sweep. While Smart's minutes will probably have to be cut a little bit, it's just not clear who gets them. Luke Kennard seems lost on defense, which could be mitigated if he was more effective offensively, but the length, speed, and quickness of all the OKC defenders cause severe problems for him and Austin Reeves. I don't even think Luka could turn this series around for the Lakers, but there might still be a trick up JJ's sleeve defensively with some sort of zone that could stop the bleeding long enough for LeBron to resurrect his prime and get them a win.